Hey everyone, I'm Marco and in this video I'm going to show you the Aquaris C from BQ. It is great to see you back and welcome to everyone who is new to this channel. The Aquaris C is the cheapest smartphone I've tested so far, and with a price point of 170 euros, it's definitely an entry-level smartphone. But I don't want to focus on the price too much and show you what the smartphone really can do. What you notice right away is the compact size. With its 5.45-inch LCD, the phone fits easily in one hand. The bezels on the side may not be the smallest in 2018, but still are pretty tiny. And the top and bottom bezels are symmetrical and there's no notch. At first I was a little confused about the logo on the chin. It looked to me like a frozen animation, but that's the BQ logo. As I said in my last video, I would like manufacturers to just get rid of that on the front. The side rails are made of metal and the back is made of plastic. It doesn't feel premium, but it's still well built and doesn't feel cheap. And even with its plastic back, there's no wireless charging, something you can't expect at that price point. And with its curved sides, it's really comfortable to hold. On the bottom we find a mono speaker, an USB port and a headphone jack. The mono speaker can easily be covered because it is downward firing and it doesn't sound very good, but for the occasional game or video it's just fine. If you want better sound, just use the headphone jack and plug in your standard headphones. To top off the 3000 mAh battery, you can use quick charge with USB-C. But I didn't need to top up the battery very often. It easily lasted 2 to 3 days and I got screen on time between 8 to 10 hours. That's fantastic. I've never seen something like this before. With these low-end hardware components, that's what makes the perfect combination for that long battery life. Let's take a closer look at these hardware components. You get a Snapdragon 425 with Adreno 308 and 2 GB of RAM. The resolution of the 5.45-inch LCD is just 720p. That altogether is just entry level, but that is what makes a great battery life. But it should be clear that the Aquaris C isn't for the high-end user, but more for the leisure kind of person. The animations are quite slow throughout the whole system and it takes a while until an app opens and everything is just a bit slower. A great example for that is the fingerprint scanner. The whole process is more on the slow side. As soon as you set your finger on the sensor, it feels like an eternity until the phone unlocks. The screen gets bright, but the colors are a little faded and the viewing angles aren't great either. You will have a hard time recognizing single pixels, but you're still going to notice that this 720p screen only packs 295 pixels per inch. The Aquaris C is running Android 8.1, which is very close to stock Android. There are only 3 apps that come from BQ. This is the camera app and an BQ app that's trying to sell you an insurance for the device, and the launcher. But the launcher is very close to the Google Now launcher, if you still know what that looks like. And BQ also promises an update to Android Pie, but there's no date set yet. The cameras are important nowadays, no matter what price segment we are talking about, but you can't expect too much of these cameras. The 30 megapixel camera on the back has an aperture of f2.0 and it makes usable photos. The dynamic range isn't great even with HDR turned on, but the photos still look okay. The camera app also doesn't have a lot of modes. There's automatic mode, panorama mode and manual mode. I think it's nice to have the opportunity to adjust white balance, ISO and shutter speed, but the pictures won't get any better, so just use auto mode. Videos can be recorded in 1080p but without any stabilization. Something that is already included in the BQ camera app is Google Lens. We are still waiting on many other smartphones for this promised feature. The front camera is a 5 megapixel camera and it's okay for a quick selfie in good lighting, but don't use it in low light. Even the front flash doesn't help it very much. But having a front flash is something you won't see on many smartphones. So the cameras aren't anything great. It's okay to take a quick snapshot, but that's where I would leave it. And that's okay for a €170 smartphone. Something that is often missing even in more expensive smartphones is NFC. But not in the Aquaris C. Here you do get NFC, so you can use quick pairing and mobile payments. And there's an FM radio built in, so you don't have to use your limited data plan or the internal storage for music, you can just listen to radio. The 16GB internal storage won't hold too much music, so the radio is a nice addition. But you can expand that internal storage with an SD card, or you could use 2 SIM cards. The Aquaris C isn't for the sophisticated user who's playing heavy games or taking pictures all the time. That's just not what the Aquaris C is made for. The Aquaris C is more for the user who only uses a few apps, who doesn't mind if the phone needs a little longer to respond and wants long battery life. So just keep in mind that the Aquaris C just costs €170, which is really inexpensive for a smartphone that packs all these features. But be aware that it's more on the slow side. If you can live with that, the Aquaris C might be for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like and share the video. And you can take your time, just like the Aquaris C, and slowly hit that subscribe button down there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.